Good afternoon and welcome. I would just like you to pay your attention to the screen for a bit and observe what is being taking place. If you analyze what is on the screen, you would realize that we have the time being changed automatically. You are seeing good afternoon. You are seeing enter your name. Below, you are seeing our focus for today, and below you have an area that state enter focus. Follow through, we have presenters, and we have enter presenters name. And of course you would realize that the background is one that is depicting an afternoon condition. All right, so you see the nice sunset basically depict afternoon condition. Well, after seeing all of this, the question would be, how would one go about creating such visual that you're seeing right now? And of course, you know that we are doing the course website design. So I am now going to turn our attention to one section of the back end that creates what you're actually seeing on your screen right now. So let me move over to my Notepad++, which is application that is being used to create what we just viewed just now. Sorry. To create what we just viewed just now, we would have used JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. All three of them combined to develop that outcome. So here we're going to start from our HTML coding, and I should take that everyone at this point should be fully comfortable with using HTML. All right, so you should be familiar with these coding at the top right here, and you see we're using our meta, or even using our meta or viewpoint content, and is equal to width equal device width. So what is being shown right here is the compatibility as it relates to the device and how this content would be able to fit into whatever device you're viewing it on. All right, so moving down a bit to the meat of the matter, you are seeing your link rel style sheet href, and by seeing this right here, this you should remember that this would point to the fact that we are using a external CSS. So we would have our external CSS, and this link would basically give the connection with the external CSS and the HTML coding. All right. So would have gone through those already. I'm just pointing it out as a mean of reinforcement. Moving down, we have our title tag, and we are stating that our title tag is all about dynamic landing page, as you are seeing here in between, sorry, in between the title tag. And of course, the title tag would be in the head tag as well, as you're seeing here. So the heading tag will start right here, and the end of the head tag will be right here. Our next tag would be our body. And by me clicking on the word body right here, the opening body tag, you realize at the bottom that the closing body tag is highlighted as well. Now, inside of my body tag, I am using my time tag. And if you remember when we view our screen just now, you'll see where the time is being changed. So here we set our ID, time ID to 12:17:04. All right, and that is the starting time that we're going to set our time to be. So after setting this, and after we use our CSS to style and our JavaScript to join up all in one, that's how you realize that we get our time to be changing automatically based on the system time that will be on your machine. So note carefully, we're using our time ID right here, and we are setting our time ID to be 12:17:04, and we have our H1. I know that H1 deals with heading, the size of the header, and H1 would be the biggest. So inside of my H1 tag, I am having my span, and I'm setting my greeting ID to be good afternoon. So I have open span, and inside of my open span right here, I have ID equal and greeting inside of double quotation. And you realize here I close my span, and I want to display what? Good afternoon. So I put it in between my open and close span tag at this point. Our next span tag, I am saying span, I'm setting my ID now to be name, and I'm saying that I want the name to be editable, and I'm setting it to true. So I have content, let's break it up right here. Content editable, I join both terms join together. Content editable equal true instead of double quotation. And let me just jump to the screen for you to have an idea of what I'm talking about. So here you see I have the good afternoon, like I just went through. And for the name, editable, content editable allows me to type in the name that I would want to enter. So when we speak about setting it as content editable, that's what we are talking about. All right. So content editable allows you, the user, to enter information at certain point. So for the name, we want it to be editable. So that's how you would go about doing it. And just to reinforce, we have inside our open span tag, we have span, setting our name ID, and I'm saying I want the name ID to be content editable. Then because I want it to be content editable, I set it to be true, and I put the text that I want to display to be enter greetings, and I close my span at that point. And of course, that is in my H1 heading, so I must close my H1 as well. Next heading, which would be a bit smaller than H1 because I'm using H2, is that I'm displaying on the screen our focus for today, which is right here. Our focus for today, which relatively is smaller than good afternoon. Our focus for today, and of course, I am going to use an next content editable based on what you are seeing right here. So our focus for today in our H2 header, and I have H2 inside of my H2 tag. I'm having H2, and my ID focus, my focus ID, I am setting it to be content editable, which should be true, and I am having I just type in straight in to say create cool dynamic web page, and I would have closed my H2 header at that point. So far we have used two content editable. Next, I am using a H3 header, which is going to be smaller than my H2, and I'm saying for my span ID span ID equal greeting. So my greeting ID, I'm setting it to be presenter, and below I am going to allow the presenters to be able to enter their name. So therefore I set it to be content editable in this line as well. And following through, you will see where I close my H3 header right here. So for this dynamic landing page, I am using three content editable, and content editable mean that allows you, the user, to enter specific information and various areas of that landing page. And at the bottom right here, we are seeing script src equal open double quotation JS, which is JavaScript, backslash main dot JS. So this is simply saying that I have a JavaScript coding and I save it as main.java. So what's happening now, I am using this line to call my JavaScript to make the connection with this content, with this HTML content right here. Same like above, where we use this line to connect our external CSS to our HTML file right here. At the bottom here, what I am doing, I am using this line to make the connection of my JavaScript with this HTML document here as well. So for what would have just viewed earlier on the screen, this is the HTML coding that we use in part of the development of that landing page. So let me just move up to the landing page for you to view it one more time. Good. So this is, as we started to say, this is the outcome of the coding, and please note we have just went through the HTML coding of it. The follow-up video, we will go through the JavaScript as well as the CSS as well. So do remember that you need to practice, and of course you can make changes to the various areas of the content based on how you want your landing page to look and how you want it to display and what information you want to show. All right, so once more, please remember to practice, and remember to subscribe, give a like, and share this content with a friend or someone that you know would need such information. All right, until then, have for yourself a great day.